Happy Wednesday, everybody. I wanted to hop on here because I have gotten quite a few emails and messages in response to all of the conversations around fatigue and what does that mean in relation to your cycle. And this is true, whether you are just starting to have your period or you're in perimenopause where periods are starting to become a little bit more irregular. And so one of the things that I hear from women all the time, and actually we just did a poll on Instagram yesterday, where women are reporting, that they feel fatigued all the time, but it's worse before their period. And so I want to explain to you why that is, so that you can understand what's happening in your body, what needs to change so that you can actually start feeling your best and stop just treating your symptoms with more caffeine, more sugar, etc. So, excuse me. So I'm just going to kind of walk you guys through what that is. So fatigue was actually one of my worst symptoms for hormone imbalances, meaning, I had the heavy periods, I had the painful cramping, but it was really the fatigue that was making me miserable. And it was absolutely worse before my cycle, which meant that work was harder. It was way harder to be patient with my husband and my children. And so we want to talk about why that is, because it's not just that you're getting older. It's not just that your work is really stressful. It's not just that, we're in an economic crisis. It's not just any of those things. It really comes down to whether or not your mood, energy, libido regulating pathway is regulated, or whether it's super dysfunctional. So what is the mood, energy, libido regulating pathway? So this is the connection between your gut, your intestines, your brain, and your ovaries. So a lot of physicians will actually focus on, hey, if you're having fatigue, let's look and see if it's low progesterone or low estrogen. They see that maybe there's some low estrogen or progesterone on lab testing, and then they start treating really from the back end when they should be treating it from the front end. And what I mean by that is that your ovaries are responsible for producing estrogen and progesterone at the right times of the month. And that contributes to having energy because of how those two hormones actually convert to estrogen. Or I'm sorry, not estrogen, sorry. How those two hormones convert to serotonin. And so when your gut isn't happy, it's not able to tell your brain to then tell your ovaries to produce those hormones. And so this is really comes down to that connection between the gut, the brain, and the ovaries. So that helps with, making those happy mood chemicals that you need to feel calm and balanced all month long. Restore your energy through that gut-brain connection, because when our gut's not healthy, we're also not absorbing nutrients properly. And those nutrients are what our hormones need to be functioning properly, especially our adrenal glands. So a lot of times we see, somebody coming in with a lot of adrenal dysfunction, and it's really not the adrenals. It's really, the adrenals are impacted, but they're impacted primarily by the gut. So when we start working on healing that gut-brain connection, the adrenals start to heal and they start to feel better as well. So, and then, as a byproduct of that, our libido begins to heal as well, because there's enough left over to support all of the libido balancing hormones. So if you are struggling with energy, you're struggling with fatigue, especially related to your cycle, iron hasn't helped it, etc. It's really, we probably need to look back at that gut-brain connection, which I'm going to be talking about here in the next couple of weeks, what we can do to resolve that. So I hope that this helps, and please comment below if you have any specific questions specific to your situation.